A common question that is asked is, if Islam is a religion that is promoting peace, why would it be involved? Why would the Prophet be involved in fighting? It is important to remember that justice, by definition, is about laws that are protected by sanctions. In other words, there are laws which, if violated, have penal consequences or punishments that go with them. And so in standing for justice, it is allowed in every community and in most religions that when an aggressor is fighting you, you are allowed to defend yourself. You are allowed to prevent people from being unjust or oppressive against you or any community. When it comes then to the practice of the Prophet, peace be upon him, we need to ask ourselves, what were the battles that the Prophet was engaged in? And we find they were all, with no exception, defensive or punitive. They were all battles where the Prophet, peace be upon him, was involved in establishing justice or defending the community. And this becomes critically important when we look at the individual cases, we look at the verses of the Quran that guide this subject area, and we look at the various statements and practices of the Prophet recorded in the Sunnah or the Hadith sayings. When we find earlier prophets like Abraham and Moses and David and very many men of God mentioned in the earlier scriptures also standing to defend their communities, this was only a sign of people who lived by what they taught. They were living examples. They were not just preaching and asking people to defend their communities, but they themselves led by examples. And if we look carefully at each of these cases recorded in the Hadith or that were taught in the Quran, the concept of jihad was never an instrument of injustice. It was never an instrument of promoting religion by forcing people to accept Islam. It was always a noble cause of justice, defending victims of injustice and who needed protection from oppressors. So it is only expected that if the Prophet, peace be upon him, is to live by his good example, that we would find narrations of the Prophet also involved in battles alongside other noble members of the community who want to stand for justice. And this is why until this day, we consider leaders, military generals who fight for justice, who stand for truth in defending the lives of innocent people as noble people who should be remembered, who should be commemorated.